So The Ritual is an atmospheric folklore horror film about a group of guys who go out for a camping trip in Sweden. Whilst trekking through a forest, they get hit by a storm and are forced to take shelter in an old rickety house. It's made by David Bruckner and it's his first time directing a feature film. He did better work than some people who have been making movies for decades. I think The Ritual is incredibly accessible. Out of all the horror films I'm recommending in this series, I think this will be the least polarising, so if you're not sure where to start, you can't go wrong with this. The cinematography is great. Despite most of the film taking place in a forest, it always looks visually interesting, and you get a great sense of spatial awareness. You know where everyone is and the layout of the land in the surrounding area, so when the chaotic things start to happen, you already have a good knowledge of who is where and what they were doing. Well, except for the parts where the characters get confused and the audience isn't meant to know what's going on. From the opening scene, the tension is palpable and the director did a great job at ramping it up as the film goes on. The entire movie permeates with this oppressive sense of dread. The visuals go a long way in explaining some of the more mysterious aspects of the story. So if you're a horror fan who is fed up with being spoon-fed explanations in painfully dull exposition scenes, this is for you. It's my understanding it's currently on Netflix in the United States, so make sure you give it a watch. I spoke with the director over Twitter and he told me he's currently working on a bunch of things, and out of those, the movie that's coming up sometime in the future is The Night House. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. I think he's going to have a very interesting career and he'll be one to watch. So I wanted to talk about a few things that involve spoilers, so here's a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the film yet, I'd strongly recommend going to see that before watching the rest of this video. I've heard some people say that Luke, the central character, is unlikable because he didn't help his friend when confronted by the robbers. Well, to counter that, you clearly see him turn the bottle over in his hand and get ready to rush the robbers and save his friend, but he's a moment too late. It really gives the character a touch of tragedy, and you can see it's made him a lot more withdrawn and pushed him further away from the group. Throughout the rest of the film, there's a series of sort of flashback hallucination scenes that clearly show him coming to terms with his guilt and fear. And to continue this thread, the creature in the movie seems to subject the entire group to terrifying nightmares that then bleed into reality, and the only one to face up to this horrific torment is Luke. And to this I posit the fact that the other characters never face up to their fears is why the creature killed them. The creature left Luke alive, and as a reward it will give him no pain and immortality in return for worship. At least that's what I got from it. The creature is described as an offspring of Loki, and towards the end of the movie you see the creature do this weird meditation praying pose. I've heard some people say the creature was trying to show Luke how to worship it. But my interpretation was just as the villagers try to appease the creature tries to appease Loki. It's a great bit of visual storytelling. When the characters go to that wooden house, they see what looks like a messy straw man without a head and missing other body parts. In reality, it's an effigy of the creature's head. I think it's a fantastic detail and I didn't even put it together until my second watch. The first time you see part of the creature, it looks like a human hand and you think it's some kind of person. Then you see some kind of giant moose creature and you think it's a big animal. And then you see the entire thing. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's one of the best designed movie monsters I've seen in a long time. It's shot and animated in a way to give it some real weight, and those glowing eyes are really unsettling. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.